Allah bless you. Jazakallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. First of all, brothers, everyone. ठहरो भाई. डॉक्टर साहब कितने बजे खत्म करना है? नहीं, मुझे बयान कब खत्म करना है? 7:10. Right, you're all imprisoned in here till 7:10, right? You got to put up with me till 10. What's on the menu? Huh? Biryani. You got something to look forward to, yeah? Even if the bayan's boring. 7:10. YOLO. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So brothers, stay attentive. Stay with me. Don't start talking between yourselves. Don't take your phone out. Inshallah, we'll be through this in no time. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah. He's already going off. Alhamdulillah. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi. Wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu subhanahu wa ta'ala fala mudilla lah. Wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lah. نشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا وكريمنا وسندنا وأولانا ومولانا وهادينا وطبيب قلوبنا وقرة أعيننا ونور أبصارنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرواحنا وأرواح آبائنا وأمهاتنا فداه صلى الله تبارك وتعالى عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته وأهل بيته وأولاده وعترته وأصحابه وأنصاره وأصحاره وأشياعه وأتباعه وأحبابه ومحبيه وأمته وعلى كل من اتبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وعلينا معهم أجمعين. أما بعد. Honorable ulama kiram, beloved brothers and friends, I'll tell you a story about a guy. Once there was a man, he was very wealthy, and he lived a good life in that he had good health, and he lived to a ripe old age. And in that time, he didn't believe in Allah, and he drank like crazy, he partied like crazy, he fornicated like crazy. Life was a party for him. And he did that till the end of his days, and then he died. The end. Yes? Except it's not the end, is it? It's not the end, right? Maut ko samajhte hai ghafil ikhtitām-e zindagi. The fools think that death is the end. Game over. Hai ye shām-e zindagi, subh-e dawām-e zindagi. But in fact, death is not the end. It's the dusk of your worldly life, and it's the dawn of your eternal life. It's just the beginning of your eternal life. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us His very precious life, and Allah sent all the prophets to explain to the people, and for us He sent Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to come to explain to us that this life is not the ultimate life. Allahumma la aisha illa aisha al-akhirah. This was the slogan of the Sahaba kiram. Just as nowadays we have slogans, we have mottos, and the people of the world have them as well. And we people, due to our distancing ourselves from Allah and from the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have also adopted the mottos and the slogans of the people of the world. And if you look at the mottos and the slogans of the people of the world, behind them there's one single simple message. What are the mottos of the people of the world, the slogans? You know them better than me. Just do it. You can't beat the feeling. I'm loving it. Isn't it? When I was living in Ireland, I was walking down to the masjid, they had an advert, a massive billboard for an ice cream. Allahu Akbar. You know what the motto was? Unleash the beast. There was another one. Dare to go double. Dare to go double. I mentioned that to somebody and he goes, Maulana, you're reading into it too much. I said, are you dumb? Have you got your head under a pillow? There's a message behind that. Once I was in Jamat with some brothers, and at night they decided to treat themselves. So they said, Maulana, let's have some desserts, milkshakes and stuff. So they ordered from this place which I'd never heard of. And then they offered me, so I had a little bit, honestly. And then next morning, then they threw everything away. So next morning, I went into the kitchen after Fajr Salat to have a cup of tea. So I'm sitting there having my tea. And I looked up, and next to the bin, they'd put all the rubbish in the bag. And it had the motto of the company, and it had the logo, the slogan. You know what it was? I spat my tea out. Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know for a dessert. I said, Allahu Akbar. I said, look at all of this. I'm loving it. Just do it. You can't beat the feeling. Dare to go double, unleash the beast. Nobody needs to know. What is that about? There's a message behind that. Subconsciously, you're all picking it up. We're all picking it up. We're all ingesting it. And we're all playing it out in our lives. What is the message? The message is, live for the here and now. Just do it. It doesn't matter if you get pregnant. It doesn't matter if your mother's heart gets broken into 1,000 pieces when she finds out that you've been locked up. It doesn't matter if your father, his heart breaks and he has a heart attack when he finds out that you, O Muslim, who were supposed to be providing the solution to the world, are peddling the drugs on the streets of Blackburn. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just do it. Just follow your caprice. Obey your thirst. That's what the world is today. And a stark reality to that, in stark contrast to that, the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sahaba kiram. They were digging the trench and they also had a slogan. What was their slogan? Allahu Akbar. Allah make this my inner slogan and the slogan of all of us, that we chant this morning and evening inside our hearts. Allahumma la aisha illa aisha al-akhirah. Allah, this life is no life. This life is a deception. On the day of judgment, Allah Ta'ala will ask, how long? Kam labithtum fil ardi adada sinin. O people, how long did you live in the world? People will say, labithna yawman. Some people say, we stayed. My life, 70 years, 80 years of partying, of enjoying myself. What was it? What will it seem to them on the day of judgment? They'll say, Ya Allah, I think I stayed in the world for one day. One day. His companions will say, you crazy guy, what are you talking about? It wasn't one day, it wasn't that long. Oh, Ba'da Yawm, we were only there for half a day, man. Some people say, no, a matter of a few minutes I was there. كَأَنَّهُمْ لَمْ يَلْبَثُوا إِلَّا عَشِيَّةً وَضُحَاهَا. Some will say, no, it was just part of a morning, part of an evening. This life is nothing, it's a deception. We're passing, we're going. Either, the innama anta ayyam. Somebody said, you're just a compilation of days. It's snowing outside. So some people might build a snowman. Yeah? Put a carrot in the stones and a scarf and everything. And take pictures. Oh, it's really good. But as soon as you finish, your kids will say, oh, Dad, can we have that forever? No, you can't. As soon as you finished it, it's going. It started melting. Within a few hours, maybe next morning, it'll be a puddle on the ground. This is what you are, human. You're just a compilation of days. As your hours are passing, you're melting away, and soon you'll be nothing. You'll be nothing. In Urdu and in Gujarati, in Punjabi, in many languages, the word for cadaver, dead body, you know what it is? Lash, isn't it? When somebody comes to your janaza, when you die, okay, you might get offended by it. When I die, people won't come into my house or the mosque or wherever it is, and people won't say, where's Rahman? Where's Hazrat Maulana? Where's Sir? Where's my teacher? Isn't it? They won't say that about you. They won't say, where's Dr. Sahib? Sorry, Doc. They won't say that. They won't even say my name. Do you know that? This happens every day. When we walk in, what do we say? Where's the lash? Where's the body? As soon as you drop dead, you'll be stripped of everything. Not just your watch, not just your mobile phone, but even your name, your identity. Hazrat Mufti Palampuri Sahib Rahmatullah used to say, what is lash? It's made up of two Arabic words. La and shay. La means nothing, no. And shay means thing, no thing, nothing. As soon as you die, you're nothing. Before that, you were Dr. Sahib, you were Professor Sahib, You were a student, you were a footballer, you were this, that. Now what are you? You're nothing. And no one will remember you. The day I drop dead, my car will still be parked outside my house. My bank balance will still be there. My job title will still be there, but it'll be empty. My post will still be there, but it'll be empty. People will be coming to my house to pay their respects. Dastan nesti ki main tumhe suna raha hoon. The poet says, shall I tell you what happened the day that I died? And this is going to happen to all of us. Log, Salima, sab, log ghar ko aa rahe the, main ghar se ja raha tha. Allah. You know what happens on the day that I died? People are going to be coming to my house. But I'll be leaving my house. People will go and put me, if it's a day like this, in a cold, wet, dark hole in the ground. And people will come to my house, sit on my leather reclining sofas, use my radiators, use my underfloor heating, and they'll talk about themselves. They won't even remember me. When you go to a janazah, what happens? Everyone grabs a handful because it's the right thing to do. And then it's just flip, 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 flip. What phone have you got, bro? Flip, 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 flip. What are you doing these days? Oh, mashallah. Can I get in that business as well? Can you give me some ideas? Flip, 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 flip. That's what happens. They're talking about themselves. They've forgotten me. They're using my leather reclining sofas, and they haven't even given me one cushion. And who are the people who are going to be throwing mud on top of me and you? Not my enemies. My own father, my brother, my friends, my besties. Going to be throwing mud on top of me, burying me 6 foot down, under, and walking away. That's the reality of this world. So the reason why we come together and we have these gatherings is to come out of the deception. This thing that's going on around us, it's all a dream, it's a deception. What we're being fed by the people of the world. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may die. No, no, no. When I was teaching here in Plaggate School in Blackburn, at that time there was this trend going. You know, something become trendy, yeah, like wearing your pants halfway down your legs and showing your underwear. That used to be a trend. I don't think it is anymore. I hope it's not anyway. Yeah, you get different trends. So at that time, this trend was people started saying YOLO, YOLO. And so I'm an old guy, I'm out of date. So I had to go and search it. What does YOLO mean? Teachers are complaining, teachers are up in arms. I don't know what's wrong with these kids. They just keep going around saying YOLO, YOLO. Give them a detention, YOLO. Gotta phone your mom, YOLO. So I had to, and I found out that it meant you only live once. Brothers, Ahsan bhai, oh bhai, Ahsan bhai. Niga rakho bhai. Brothers, come close. So I had to say, YOLO, what does it mean? You only live once. I said, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. How can a Muslim say that? You can lose your iman if you say something like that. You only live once. Are you negating the akhirah, the hereafter, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and all the prophets have informed us about? How could you say that? The teachers were getting really frustrated with these kids. You know, before that I was not bothered, you know, carefree attitude. So anything that the teachers would say, the kids would just shrug it off and say, YOLO, YOLO. So I gave it some brain power. I gave it some juice, and I thought about it. I thought, okay. So I knew none of the kids are going to be stupid enough to say that to me. Right? But once I got a referral from another teacher, she was up in arms at the end of a tether. She said, this kid, and she sent him to me. So I said, okay, go on, Jamal, what's your problem? I don't know. She's just racial, isn't it? She's only picking on me. I said, you must have done something. I didn't do anything. I didn't do it. You must have done something. No, I didn't do anything. Like what? You never did your homework. So he's like, I said, then what happened? I don't know. She's just racialist. She's always picking on me. I said, come on. She's a nice teacher. She cares for you. And I know she doesn't. I said, come on, what happened? She just went ballistic. Why did she go ballistic? I don't know. She got high blood pressure. No, come on, tell me. I said, I didn't say anything. You must have said, come on, Jamal, be honest with me. So I just said one thing, sir. So what do you say? She said, I'm going to phone your mom. So I said, what do you say? I said, YOLO. And she just hit the roof. So I said to him, Jamal, come here, listen. I thought that, you're a gangster. I thought like you're a ringleader, you're G. You don't even know how to talk properly. You don't even know the lingo. You don't even know slang. You're saying it wrong. It's not YOLO. He looked at me. So, what does this Buddha, what does this old man know? He said, what do you mean? I said, it's not YOLO. He's saying it wrong. I said, yeah, of course it is. YOLO, YOLO. I said, no, it's not. He said, what is it then? I said, YALA. So he started laughing. I'm laughing at him. He's laughing at me. I said, okay, what does YOLO mean? He said, you only live once. Then he said to me, what does YALA mean? I said, you actually live again, brother. You'll actually live again. There is a consequence to your actions. A Muslim doesn't think like that. That is all, game over when we die. A life is coming. And it's coming very soon for all of us. And we've all got to give a reckoning for our lives on the Day of Judgment in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we've forgotten that. We've stooped ourselves in the dunya, drowned ourselves in the dunya, and we've fallen for the lies of the dunya. Ji aisa lagaya, jeene mein marne ko Musalman bhul gaya. We're living our lives as if we're never going to die. We're living our lives as if there is no accountability. We're living our lives as if we don't have to stand in front of Allah one day. La yazalu qadma ibn Adama yawm al-qiyamati hatta yusalu an khams. On the Day of Judgment, the ground will grip me and you and every single human being. No one will be able to move from their place until they are not asked 5 questions. An umrihi fima afna. How did you spend your life? We'll have to give an account for our whole life. Now I need to ask myself, what am I going to say on that day? What have I done so far? And the second question, an shababihi fima abla. How did you spend your youth? So the question arises, when you ask me about my life, my youth was included. Why are you asking me again? Because the youth is a very special part of your life. It's a prime of your life. You've got blood in your veins. You've got a pulse. You got pulling power. You got your looks. You got the gift of the gab. You got your vigor. At that time, you could do so much. So much for the akhirat. So much to please Allah. So much to bring people onto hidayat. So much to save mankind from the fire of hell. But what did you do, oh youngster? What did you do with your youth? I read somewhere, somebody said, today's Muslim wants to be educated in England and live in Dubai, on holiday in Malaysia, and eat Chinese rice and Greek salad, and wear Italian clothes, speak English, watch American movies, listen to Indian Bhangra music, and use Japanese electronics. And after all of that, he wants to die in Makkah and be buried in Medina. Wow, kya sada hai Musalman. Oh Muslim, after being infatuated, यूरोप की गुलामी पे रजामंद हुआ तू. अल्लामा इकबाल said, यूरोप की गुलामी पे रजामंद हुआ तू. मुझको तो तुझसे गिला है, यूरोप से नहीं है. You become infatuated with the people of the world. I'm not complaining against them. I'm complaining to you, O Muslim. You should know better. You had a beautiful way of life that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam showed to you. You should have known better. But you live a life infatuated by them and their way of life and their traditions and their culture and their brands, and becoming a consumerist slave and living your whole life like that. Somebody looking at you can't tell you're a Muslim. Once a Maulana, a scholar, was walking down the street. A guy was coming from the opposite direction. Now, the Friday before, the Maulana had delivered a bayan about the importance of greeting someone with salam. And if somebody does salam to you, then replying. So this youngster, by chance, had come in a few minutes before the end of the bayan. Usually he comes when the bayan's over. But that day he came a few minutes and he heard the last bit of the bayan. So he's walking down the street and he crosses path with the Maulana. Now this youngster is a Muslim. So Maulana walked past him. So this guy, he pulled him up. He said, "Oh, Maulana Sahib, whoa." He said, "You hypocrite." Maulana Sahib said, "What? Excuse me, what?" He said, "You didn't do salam to me." He said, "Oh, forgive me, brother, forgive me. I was actually going to greet you with salam. I did look at you. I'm not going to deny. I did see you. But I couldn't decide whether you're a Muslim or not. Because we're not allowed to do salam to non-Muslims. We can say good morning, hiya, yala, but you can't do salam to them. You can't say salam alaik, assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. Because there's no peace if there's no Islam in the akhirah for that person. So he said, I couldn't fathom whether you're a Muslim or not. So the guy obviously got even more angry. He said, first you don't do salam to me, then you insult me like this. He got really angry. He said, you Maulvis, you're this and that. And so Maulvi Sahib said, listen, calm down. Let's look at you. With what was I supposed to tell you that you're a Muslim? Let's take you from head down to your toe. Head, haircut, non-Islamic. Yes? Face, no beard. Yes? Then no Islamic libas. Yeah? You got shorts on, right? You got bangles on. You got a chain on. He said, there's no sign of you on your face, on your body, to tell me that you're a Muslim. So I can be excused for not doing salam to you. So today's Muslim is completely neglecting the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we're having these high aspirations that inshallah I'm going to die in Makkah and be buried in Medina. As one scholar said, that if you're 2.5 volt Iman, meaning your very weak Iman, cannot take you into the gardens of paradise in this world. What are the gardens of paradise in this world, brothers? The gatherings, the masjid. If you're walking past the masjid and you hear the azan and you know it's salat time, but your Iman is so weak that it can't take me into the masjid, then how can I expect that 2.5 volt Iman to take me into the eternal gardens of paradise on the day of judgment? Something for all of us to reflect on. I once went to a country, a Muslim country, and unfortunately, as we see everywhere, big masjids, but they're empty, very few people practicing. But there was one guy, he used to regularly come for salat. And so we befriended him. And so he was a taxi driver, so when we needed to go out and about, we'd ask him, he'd take us, we'd pay him. So on one occasion, we needed to go to another masjid, so we asked him. So he said, okay. So we went and sat in his car. We were waiting for the other companions. We're sitting in the car. And because we were in the path of Allah, one of my companions started giving him dawat, started inviting him towards amal, how to increase following the sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. All of us can do better to become better Muslims. The person who hasn't got a beard can grow the beard. The person who has got a beard can bring other sunnahs into his life. So he's talking to him like this. So this guy, he said, brother, wallah, I perform my salat and I make dua to Allah. And I only have one desire in my heart. He said, there's only one place in the world that I want to go to. I pray to Allah every day that He takes me there. And I cry sometimes when I make dua. And I look forward to it. And it's always been my aspiration. And if I finally go there, then that will be my dream fulfilled. And I even want to die there. I pray to Allah that He makes me die there. When he's saying all this, us guys, we're getting excited as well. We say, yeah, mashallah, 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 yeah, bro, yeah. Because what was he talking about? Come on, brothers. What was he talking about? Medina, isn't it? So we presume. So we're like, yeah, bro, right on, yeah. And he said, I want to die there. And all this. He's getting emotional. And we say, yeah. And then he said to us, he was sitting at the front, we're sitting in the back. He said, you know what that place is? We said, Medina. He said, no. And he looks up into the mirror. He looks back and he goes, Las Vegas. And we're like, Allah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Ya Allah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. So brothers, the dunya is there to entice us, it's pulling us. But when we will come out of the deception and realize that, no, I have to die. And I have to live my life as I want to die. And if I will make sacrifices for the sake of Allah, man taraka lillahi shay'an, awwadahu Allahu bi shay'in khayran min. Whoever gives up something for the sake of Allah, Allah will reward him and replenish him with something better. So we've got our holidays coming up. So if I've got 2 weeks, from them, if I give 3 days, Allah will reward me with something. If I give 5 days, Allah will give me more. And if I give 10 days, then Allah will be very happy and give me even more. Isn't it? Whatever you give up, my son, what is he? Still with us, yeah? So he came along, Khalil came along to the Bayan today. So he was a bit reluctant because he's got school tomorrow. And he's a Minecraft fanboy, yeah? As well as other things, right? So he said to me, he said, what time will we be back? Because he knows that it's going to take long. And when he gets back, before bedtime, he wants to play again. Right? So I didn't really tell him what time we'll be back. But he's got a nasty surprise coming up because by the time we get back, it'll be bedtime. So now he'll be kicking himself and he'll be disgusted. But then he should know that today I gave up my Minecraft for the sake of Allah. So Allah is going to give me something better. Now better, according to our understanding, is that when he comes home from school tomorrow, he's going to have a PS4 or 5 waiting for him. Yes? But not necessarily. We, as people, we tend to think the ni'mats is just money. Yes? If I get money. But if you speak to any of our revered brothers or sisters, and you show them an article from a newspaper, say, look at this guy. He's so lucky. He won the lottery. He got 36 million pounds. That non-Muslim, that new Muslim, revered brother or sister, with a tear in his eye, will say, bro, I'm luckier than him. I'm luckier than him. That's nothing. Why? Because he's got Iman in his heart. He understands that not all ni'mats, not all bounties are about money and bling and cars. Do you understand? We have got it wrong. We tend to think it's all about money, but money you're going to leave behind. But if you sacrifice something for the sake of Allah, Allah will give you something better. So we just do something, we go out in the path of Allah for 3 days, or we perform a salat, we perform Fajr salat, and then we're checking under our pillow again and again, because money arrived. It doesn't work like that, brother. Allah will give you something better. Better than money. Somebody said to me, what are you talking about? What can be better than money? I said, brother, loads of things. In one hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, every day Allah gives charity to his servants. We give charity occasionally when we feel really embarrassed, right? Or when we're feeling very generous. We give it occasionally. But Allah is most generous. Allah gives charity to all of his slaves every single day. Muslims as well as non-Muslims. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, everyone receives something or other from Allah Ta'ala. It's just that we are so ungrateful, we don't notice, we don't realize. Everyone. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, but there's no greater charity, no greater gift that a person can receive than that a person gets the tawfiq and the ability to do dhikr of Allah. So one person, he gets £1 million from Allah. He's happy Larry. Another person gets the tawfiq to do dhikr of Allah, to remember Allah in solitude. And his eyes start flowing and he feels the love of Allah in his heart. He is richer, billions of times better off than that person who received £1 million. But not everyone will agree. To understand that, a person has to have Iman inside. Real ni'mats are these that Allah Ta'ala gives us. There was a person that you know, he visited this masjid many times as well. Allah Ta'ala grant him Jannah. His name was Junaid by Jamshed. Junaid Jamshed. Junaid Jamshed was a pop star in Pakistan. The greatest celebrity of his time in Pakistan. Adored, an idol. Yeah? And you and I know that a rock star, what he has at his disposal, people are willing to die for him. And he used to go up on the stage and people used to swoon and scream. Right? And he had everything at his disposal. And then he started going to these gatherings. And he started going out in the path of Allah. Maulana Sahib said to him, he said, if you give up things for the sake of Allah, Allah will give you something better, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, and Allah has promised. So he said, eventually he went for 4 months, and he realized that my life has all been wrong, all this is haram, and he gave it up. So he said, it used to keep nagging at me. Then Maulana is saying to me, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Ta'ala promised that if you give up something, Allah will give you something better. He said, but I was giving up the mic on a stage in a pop concert. What can be better than that? People, hundreds of thousands of people around you, dying for you. He said, what could be better than that? If I give up that mic, I knew Allah was going to give me something, but I couldn't fathom it. He said, until I came to Jami Masjid Blackburn and Zakaria Masjid Bolton and all these big masjids. And he said, the ulama kiram, the imams, insisted that I sit on their mimbar and they give me their microphone. And I sat on their mimbar, he sat here and he delivered a bayan. And he used to cry and say, I gave up the pop world, Allah gave me the imam's musalla, Allah gave me the place of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's the place of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah gave to him in this dunya. And the year that he passed away, in around this time, he passed away on the 7th of December. Around that period, we have these Christmas jewels every year. And I'm asked to deliver bayan sometimes. So that year, I had to deliver a bayan about a week or two after he passed away. So in that bayan, I said, this is 2016 coming to an end. I said, this year, we've seen two janazas, two funerals. One in February 2016. Hafiz Patel Sahib Rahmatullah passed away, one of our great elders. And at the end of the year, in December, Junaid Bhai Jamshed Rahmatullah has passed away. I said, these two persons, I said, Hafiz Patel Sahib Rahmatullah's janaza took place. He passed away the night before. The next day after Zohar, his janaza took place. About 20,000 people collected. A janaza, a funeral of that capacity had not been witnessed on these shores. Yes? And then Junaid Bhai Jamshed Rahmatullah's janaza, people witnessed it, hundreds of thousands of people. You can watch it on the internet. Yeah? People came from all far and wide. The whole world just spilled over. Never seen a janaza funeral like that. Right? I said, look, these are signs for us. Who were these two people? They were nobodies. They were not scholars. But they sacrificed something very dear to them. Junaid Jamshed sacrificed his stage, and Hafiz Sahib Rahmatullah sacrificed his cricket, and his dunya, and his job. And what happened? Because of that, Allah gave them this honor in the world that non-Muslims and Muslims are attending his funeral, and non-Muslims are even crying. I said, that's just in this world. Imagine what they will be rewarded with in the hereafter. So these are clear signs for us, brothers, for us all to see. The Sahaba Kiram, they sacrificed. Musab bin Umair radiyallahu ta'ala, who was a Sahabi, he was what you would call a fashion icon of his day, of his time. People think that, designer labels and designer haircuts is a new thing. No. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about Musab bin Umair, when Musab bin Umair sacrificed, are you with us, brother? Don't leave me now. Not long to go now, inshallah. Biryani is coming. Stay with me. Yeah. Defibrillators out. Right? So, what was I saying? Huh? Musab bin Umair radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. See, that's what happens. Musab bin Umair radiyallahu, brother, you stay with me as well, yeah? There's a virus going around in that area. Come on, brothers. Musab bin Umair radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when he gave up everything, he had one cloth which barely covered his body. And he walked past Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saw him and started crying. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ma ra'aytu bi Makkata ahadan ahsana limmatan wala araqqa hullatan wala an'ama ni'matan min Musab bin Umair." I never saw anyone in the whole of Makkah, the city of Makkah, I never saw anyone with a better hairdo than him. I never saw anyone with better clothing than him. I never saw anyone with better fashion than him. I never saw anyone with better footwear than him. It's not a new phenomena, this. Trainers, designer trainers and everything. It existed then as well. And such was his style, such was the perfume that he used, that when he used to walk through a street, people could afterwards tell that he's passed from here. So rich, so well-to-do, such a fashion icon, so debonair, such a trendsetter. And yet when the call for Islam came, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came for the message, "O people, vie for the akhirat, fafirru ilallah, run towards Allah, befriend Allah, please Allah, accept me as your prophet." Musab bin Umair radiyallahu anhu sacrificed everything. To the point that he's probably the poorest person to ever exist. Because even in this day and age, a street beggar in any country, when he gets buried, he at least has a shroud. A charitable organization will donate a shroud for him. Musab bin Umair radiallahu anhu was so poor that when he was buried, he didn't even have a shroud to cover his body. He went from riches to rags. They talk about from rags to riches. He went the other way. Who for? For Allah. What did Allah give him? We don't know. We'll find out on the Day of Judgment. But the honor that Allah has given him, a stone-hearted person like me mentioning his name now, got tears in my eyes. Your hearts are filled with love every time I said Musab bin Umair. You never saw him, not even related to you. But Allah put such love of Musab into everyone's hearts. Imagine the honor that he will get on the Day of Judgment. And Allah gave him the ultimate accolade, sacrificed in the path of Allah, martyred in the path of Allah. And a da'i and an inviter for all of us, anyone who goes for Umrah or for Hajj, goes to the mountain of Uhud, and there they are shown, this is the grave of Musab bin Umair radiallahu. And his grave, till today, calls out to us that this is what you call a real man. This is what you call a life. Your life is no life. You guys are wasters, you're losers. His grave is calling out to us that if you want to live, live like a real man. Look at me. Sacrifice everything for Allah. Didn't even get to experience my pleasures of life and live to a ripe old age. Sacrificed it all. I didn't let the banner of Islam fall till my dying breath. You and I, brothers, in the 21st century, we've got to ask ourselves, what am I doing to uphold the banner of Islam? What am I doing to promote Islam? Every single day, each one of us is promoting the non-Muslims, consumerism, dunya, 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 either with our tongues or with our attire or with our bling or with our actions. That's all we're doing. तू नहीं है इस जहां में मुंह छुपाने के लिए, तू है दुनिया भर के सोतों को जगाने के लिए. But we did not come in the world for that. We came to wake people up. We've got the solution to all the world's problems. We have been given the key to Jannat. We were sent for a massive purpose. And what have we embroiled ourselves in? This is why we have these gatherings, and this is why in the upcoming holidays, we're being requested and urged, brother, if you got your phone, ऐसा भाई देखो क्या है उनका, आपके पड़ोस में बैठ के देखो, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi. You cocky guys, you lot, right next to him as well, right next to the police station. Right? Come on, move forward, brothers. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. So, brothers, we have to assess ourselves. What am I doing? Why had I come into this world? What's the purpose of my life? Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala, another one. He had 6 shops of silk, the most expensive material. Sacrificed it all for Islam, for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was Chief Justice in Makkah. Whatever judgment he would pass, everyone accepted. Whether that was Abu Jahl, Utbah, Shayba, Ubay bin Khalf, anyone accepted his judgment and his authority. So much honor, prestige he had. And yet he sacrificed it all. And then until there came a day when the same spot where he used to sit in front of the Kaaba and he used to pass judgments, in that same spot he stood and he delivered the first bayan in Islam. Today for me to deliver a bayan is easy. But that first bayan that he delivered, in retaliation, they beat him to within 1 inch of his life. They couldn't even tell where his nose was on his face. They were convinced that he's been killed. He completely disregarded himself, humiliated himself. For who? For Allah. So what did Allah give him? O Abu Bakr, on the Day of Judgment, people will go into Jannat and they will get happy. Abu Bakr, when you will go into Jannat, Jannat will become jubilant and ecstatic. O Abu Bakr, one door will call out to people of Jannat, the fasting people, the door of Rayhan. Rayyan will call out to them. The people who did zikr, the door of zikr will call out to them. Oh Abu Bakr, you have specialized in every field. You're so unique in the sight of Allah. Every door of Jannah will call out to you. Oh Ali, ama tarda, are you not happy by the fact that your house in Jannah will be opposite my house? Oh Aisha, rest assured that the Jannah that you will be in, the ceiling of that Jannah will be the arsh of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Uthman, every prophet will have a companion in Jannah, a buddy in Jannah. Oh Uthman, you will be my companion in Jannah. They earn the accolades. Why? Because they lived the life. Today we have to assess ourselves by going out in the path of Allah. It's an X-ray machine going out in the path of Allah. As long as we don't take our phones and we sit in the amal and we devote ourselves and we immerse ourselves in the experience, then we realize that I'm just wasting myself. I'm such a waste man. I say to people that, like Hasan Basri Rahmatullah said to his congregation. Hasan Basri lived within 100 years of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and yet he used to say to his congregation that if the Sahaba Kiram were to come out of their graves and see you people, they would think, Jazakallah, they would think that you people are hypocrites. So the ulama, they say, brother, oh brother, oh brother, oh brother, come on, don't do this to me. Got 5 minutes, 2 minutes to go, man. And you? Hasan Basri Rahmatullah, he used to say, if people were to see you, they would think you're hypocrites. Our ulama, they say that imagine what the Sahaba would think of us if they saw us now. But I say to people that leave aside the Sahaba Kiram. If your younger self, if my younger self could come out of me and sit in front of me, and if I could have a chat with my younger self, you know what I mean? Yeah, your avatar. Yeah? Come out of me and sit in front of me and talk to me. Yeah? You've seen it in the cartoons and stuff. Right? What kind of conversation would that be? Ask yourself. I say to people, my avatar, without saying a word, would first of all give me a slap. What have you done to yourself? Look at you. Somebody's avatar would spit at them. What are you doing? His 13-year-old self would say to him, we had some dreams. We had aspirations. We were supposed to become Hafiz of Quran. You kept telling your mom you're going to become an alim. Now you're touching 40. You've now got a handle on your namaz. You're not even saying your salat regularly. It's spit in your face. I'm just being brutally honest, brothers. And if you are brutally honest with yourself, sit down today with your avatar. Ask yourself, will your avatar say to you? Will he be happy with you? Will he kiss you and hug you and say, mashallah, mashallah, you've excelled my expectations. Maturaru? And if you don't believe me, then go and look at your children in your house. And if you don't have children, look at your younger brother, sister, or nephews and nieces. And look with what love they mention the name of Allah. If I have to take my son to the masjid, say he's a 15-year-old, I have to beg him, I have to persuade him, I have to threaten him, I have to pull him out. Come on, let's go to the masjid. He storms out. When he comes back, he'll slam the door. His mom says, Beta, kangila. And he'll storm off. Where did you go, son? Right? And then you get your 5-year-old son. You say, come on, I'm taking you to the masjid. His eyes will light up, his face will light up. He'll go running to his mom and say, Mom, I want to put on my jubbah, my special one, the one I wore on Eid. And then I want a topi, and he'll put it on. Yeah, and then you'll take him to the masjid, and everyone in the masjid, mashallah, mashallah. He looks like an angel. You don't know him at home, he's a devil. And he'll be dead. Yeah, really well behaved. And then when he goes home, when his mom asks him, where did you go? What will he say? Will he grunt? Will he huff and he puff? If you don't know, try this with your kids. This is how we were. This is how you and I were. You know what they'll say? What will they say? He'll say, I went to Allah's house. His eyes will light up. Happens every day with our kids. Ramzan's coming up in 99 days. See the kids with what enthusiasm they keep rosas. It's the year 9s that have a problem. Then you have to, then they do home and away and all that sort of stuff. Yeah? You lot are like angels sitting there thinking, what's our home and away? I don't know. Home and away. Yeah, of course you do. Yeah? You understand? So much enthusiasm. We were once like that as well. Kabhi hum mein tum mein bhi chahat thi, kabhi hum mein tum mein bhi rahat thi. Kabhi hum bhi tum bhi the aashna, tumhe yaad ho ke nahi yaad ho. Once upon a time, brothers, we loved Allah. We used to call out to Allah. We used to love our deen. We used to think it was a special honor to come to the house of Allah. When we used to pray our sizdah, namaz, we used to do 8 sizdahs. Our mom used to get that excited and film us. And our kids, everyone used to say, oh, it's so cute, it's so cute. This is who we were, brothers. And then we went out into the world and we saw the filth and the fake glitter of the dunya. And we got beguiled and deceived by it. And we've drifted so far that now, if we spoke to our avatars, our younger selves, they would spit on us and they would be so disgusted. Brothers, let it not happen that on our deathbeds, we're talking to the angel of death, and the angel of death is disgusted with us. And the angel of death is asking us, what have you done with your life? And at the time of death, we're crying out and we're asking for more time. Let us live such a life by striving out in the path of Allah, by adorning ourselves with actions, that when we're dying, everyone around us is crying. Even our non-Muslim colleagues and neighbors are crying that this guy or the top man is leaving. Everyone around us is crying, but we're laughing. I've been to so many janazas. I grew up, alhamdulillah, in Tabligh. So many of the elders used to take me in Jamat. When they passed away, one elder, he was in hospital. I went to meet him, took some friends. He seemed okay. So when we came outside, they asked me. I asked them, I said, so how does he look? So the Chacha himself, it was a Saturday, he said, I'm going to come home on Monday. My daughter's come down, my granddaughter, she's just been born and all this sort of stuff. Yeah? So talking like that. So I came outside and I asked the Satis. So I said, how's he looking? They said, yeah, he's okay, he's not so bad. I think he's going to come home. So I just looked down. So they said, why? So I said, tomorrow night is the 27th night of Ramadan. I said, if he gets through that, he's coming home, otherwise he's not coming home. They said, what are you talking about? You're a nutter, you. He's sending people to the morgue for nothing and all that. I said, sure enough, the next morning, tahajjud time, sahari time, I got a phone call. Faiz by Allah. Passed away 27th night, tahajjud time. I went to his janazah. It was as if the moon had come out of the sky, come into his shroud. He was looking up like this. I had a massive smile on his face, so much noor on his face. Ali Bhai said, 27th night. So many people, they lived the life. So many people from Black Banda, I know. They lived such good, clean, pure lives, and they went with smiles on their faces. Brothers, we want to be like that. Every person wants to be like that. But we're going to have to do something for that. We can't continue living our lives like this and then hoping for the best. Let us be those people that when we're dying, when we're leaving, everyone around us is crying, but we're laughing. Let us not be those people that we're crying and we're screaming out and asking for more time. Let us adorn ourselves with actions, striving out in the path of Allah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I'll end with this. Sorry, Dr. Sahib. Is he even gonna? That's because of the interruptions I got. Sorry, brother. There's a car, GM66NYN, Volkswagen, black one. Please move it. It's blocking someone. There was once a buzurg. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, final thing, brothers. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, these actions that we are doing, don't think they're going to waste. We just prayed Isha namaz. Somebody comes to me and says, that Isha salat that you just prayed, show me. I'll say, what are you talking about? I can show you how I prayed it. So no, show me the actual Isha salat. I say, it's gone. It's gone. It's got no embodiment. It's got no body. Yeah. So somebody might think, I see, just wind is nothing. So no. It will have a shape now. It's gone. But it's got a shape. To understand that, We say Subhanallah. All of you say Subhanallah. Somebody thinks Subhanallah. Well, show me your Subhanallah. It's gone. But it's not gone. It's a tree that's grown just now in Jannat. And this tree, the circumference of it is bigger than this whole world. And we're going to get it when we go into our Jannat. And that's going to stay there forever. So don't think that these amals are just wasted. It's like a firework. Yeah? You got a firework. So what's a firework? It's just a cardboard tube with some stickers on it and a stick. Yeah? You stick it in the ground and you light it. It just goes up a few hundred feet. And now it's illumination, it's light, it's noise, it's fantastic. People are looking at it. Yes? In the same way, our amal in the dunya seems like nothing. But when it's gone high up there, it's become beautiful. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, each one of us, when we will go in our grave, the punishment in the grave will come into every person's grave, whether he is good or bad. But the good person, what will happen is the salat that he prayed, the namaz that he prayed, will take a form of a shield and come on his right side. He's fasting on his left side, walking in the path of Allah, walking to the masjid, walking for tawaf in Hajj, Umrah, will come on his feet side. Quran tilawat, dhikr of Allah, durood will come on his head side. And every night when we recite Surah Tabarakalladhi, 29th juz, and Alif Lam Mim is that 21st juz, that will take the form of massive birds with massive wings, and they will envelope us from above. Wherever the azab, the punishment tries to come from, these will shield us and say, go, go, go. My man's tired himself a lot in the dunya. Let him sleep now. So these actions are going to help us. And these actions take beautiful forms. And on the other hand, bad actions take hideous forms. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, a person sins, he's done a sin, it's gone. It's not just gone, it's taken a form. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, a person sins will take the form of a scorpion in his grave, and the scorpion will be the size of a donkey. Will take the form of a serpent, which will be as long as a month's journey and as thick as the neck of a camel. Allah protect us all. So we want to beautify ourselves with actions. And these actions then will take a beautiful form on our body as well. Fragrant, we'll become fragrant and adorned with amal. Very quickly I'll tell you this story, proof of this. There was once a person of Allah, a pious person. He got news that his young nephew was dying. So he said, I went to visit him. He was on his deathbed, he was in a coma. I sat there, started praying for him. Now this youngster, this nephew of mine, he used to perform his namaz 5 times salat. Because there's been an 800-year period, brothers, in this ummah after Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, where no person would dare miss a salat. Don't think this is the norm as it is, it's always been like this. No. There was a time, 800 years in this ummah, no one would miss a salat. They may fornicate, they may drink, they may have been robbing, but they would never miss their salat. That was the norm, and that's what we need to bring it back onto. And in those days, if somebody did not perform their salat, people would think he's a non-Muslim. So this youngster who was on his deathbed, he was praying his 5 times namaz. Yeah, so don't misunderstand, don't think, oh, I don't have to pray my salah. He was praying his namaz. But the uncle, he says that along with that, he had some bad habits as well. He used to sin as well. So what happens is the sins, then they wipe out the good deeds. He said, anyway, I'm praying for my nephew, and then sleep overpowered me. I became drowsy, I fell asleep. Allah wanted to show me. He said, as I fell asleep, then in my dream or in a vision, I saw the exact same spectacle. The room's there, the bed's there, my nephew's there, and I'm sitting beside him. He said, then I saw 2 sets of angels come down from the heavens. One set of angels were beautiful, white, illuminous faces, white clothing, very handsome. And the others were black head to toe, with smoke emitting off them, stench coming off them, hideous features, very scary. The scary ones were the angels of punishment, and these were the angels of mercy. The angels of mercy, angels his head side, and those on his feet side. The angels started having a conversation over him. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Allah sent us. Allah sent us as well. Right? They're having a dispute. So the angels of mercy said, no, we're going to take him. They said, no, we're going to take him. We've been deputed to take him. So the angels of mercy said, okay, let us check him. So the angels of punishment said, okay, you go check him. If you do not find any good actions on him, then we're taking him. So I said, okay, fair enough. So one of the angels got up, and the Buzuk seeing all of this, he said, one angel hovered over my nephew and smelt his forehead, and his hands, and his knees, and his feet, and his nose, because these are the parts that, help me out, brothers, come on, touch the ground in sujood. So he came back, and he looked at the other angel of mercy, and he said, man, it's looking bad. He said, no, let me check. So he said, I saw the other angel hovering over him. Like I said, the person was performing good actions, but because of his sins, he was wiping out the effect. So he returned back with a very somber look, and he said to his companion, you were right. So the angel of punishment, they said, we told you, let us take him. So then they said, no, please, give us another chance. They said, look, you've checked, now let's take. He said, no. Then one of the angels of mercy said, no, hang on, one last thing, let me check. He said, you've checked him. No, I've forgotten something, let me check. He said, the Buzuk says, I saw that the angel got up, hovered over my nephew, opened his mouth, pulled open his jaw, took out his tongue, smelled the tongue, put the tongue back in his mouth, closed his mouth, came back very jubilant to his companion, said, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. He has some remnants of good amal on him. And he said to the angels of punishment, you go back, we found the signs. And the angels of punishment were disappointed, but they retreated, they went back. And the Buzuk says, I saw this, and then I saw the two angels come over him of mercy and take his ruh out, and then I woke up, and when I woke up, I found that he was no more. What did the angels say to the other one? They said, this person, he hasn't got any signs of good actions on him, but once he went out in the path of Allah, and he said, once, Allahu Akbar. And he said it with so much sincerity, when I smelt his tongue, the fragrance of that is still on his tongue. So these are signs for us, brothers. This is a reality. So we have to adore ourselves, decorate ourselves with as many good actions as possible, brothers. So your biryani is going cold. I had something else to tell you as well, but let's leave it for now, inshallah. If you ever, I don't think you will, but if you ever call me again, then I'll tell you next time. But inshallah, make a mental note, don't call this nutter again. But brothers, now, you've given me your undivided attention. I wanted your attention, you gave me your attention. Now I need your intentions, brothers. You've been a fantastic audience, you've listened very attentively. Now, brothers, give your intentions to go out in the path of Allah in the upcoming Christmas holidays. First of all, brothers, make intention for 10 days. If I go for 3 days, I'll get benefit, I'll get reward. If I go for 5 days, I'll get more benefit, more reward. If I go for 10 days, the maximum that I can give, I'll get even more benefit, more reward. Especially if I don't take my phone with me and I immerse myself in the experience. So brothers, inshallah, I'm ready for 10 days, inshallah. All the brothers who have come with me, mashallah, how many brothers? 4 of us have come from Bolton. 5 of us. Alhamdulillah, all 5 are ready for 10 days, alhamdulillah. So Bolton Wanderers have always been better than Blackburn Rovers. Unless you can prove me wrong, I don't know. Chalo. Ball away.
Give your names, mashallah. Who is ready for 10 days, mashallah?
Mashallah.
Mashallah. Allah accept. Mansoor, mashallah. Mashallah. More brothers. Stand for who is ready for 10 days, just stand there. Mashallah. Abdullah. Ali. Muhammad. Mashallah. More brothers, 10 days.
Black brothers?
Yeah, 10 days. All, mashallah, 10 days. Mashallah. More brothers, mashallah. We have to say about 5 Jamats from Jamia Masjid. We have made intention for 3, but mashallah, these majma, mashallah, you can give 5 Jamat, mashallah. More brothers who are ready for 10 days.
All for 10 days, yeah?
Yeah, 10 days, mashallah.
All without your phones, yeah? You all go quiet on me. Come on, brothers.
Mashallah.
All without your phones, yeah? Believe me, you'll come to my door, we'll be quiet. You'll thank me if you do it properly.
Mashallah. More brothers,
brothers,
10 days. Allah kabul farma. Mashallah, mashallah.
Come, brothers. Mashallah.
By Ilyas, in Kuala, or more brothers, mashallah.
Mashallah.
This is already in mashallah, 3 Jamats is already made, mashallah. Another 2 Jamats we can make, mashallah.
Other brothers who did not make intention before come.
Mashallah. It's very easy, mashallah, in holidays. Make our holidays into holy days.
Mashallah.
Allah kabul farma, mashallah. Who is else, mashallah? These brothers, mashallah, goes towards Ilyas, mashallah,
There's still brothers.
on left hand side. आ जाओ इस तरफ आ
As well, bhai, surpass करने वाले माशाल्लाह. So all the 10 days, brothers,
जफर भाई आप भी आ जाए इनके साथ
move on to our left hand side, mashallah.
माशा हाफिज अमन साहब माशाल्लाह
Lancaster brothers as well. Are you not making intentions?
yeah 10 days mashallah who has intention for 10 days mashallah
He's going to go youngest for holiday. Make intentions again and again, mashallah.
majma come close mashallah join with the majma mashallah come close
Build the house, brother.
youngsters mashallah Allah kabul farma 10 days right now those who are working mashallah jo kaam karne wale se hai you can spend 4-5 days 4-5 days mashallah Saturday Sunday Monday Tuesday तक जमात बन सकती है तो who is ready for कमो बेस work mashallah yeah mashallah stand up mashallah Allah kabul from ayaz mashallah so who is ready mashallah 5 days mashallah Bilal mashallah Muhammad mashallah Moise और साथी 5 days who's ready for 5 days खड़े रहे माशाल्लाह इब्राहिम who's else माशाल्लाह एक जमात बन जाए 2 जमात बन जाए माशाल्लाह बड़े साथी those who are working everyone has 4 days holidays माशाल्लाह तो वो भी माशाल्लाह अल्लाह कबूल फरमाए माशाल्लाह माशाल्लाह राजी माशाल्लाह और साथी बताए माशाल्लाह yeah inshallah माशाल्लाह बहुत बड़ा मजमा है माशाल्लाह यहाँ और भी इरादे करें माशाल्लाह 5 days की एक जमात बन जाए you brothers come this side
Come, brothers, mashallah.
ऐसा इनको ले और साथी माशाल्लाह हाँ लैंकास्टर वाले तो ऑलरेडी 2 दिन से ही
10 days, deposit you.
हाँ
No, for the Christmas holiday, you need a longer.
yeah you get holiday from everyone get holiday from
1 month off?
22nd
All of you. Not got time off. Make intentions longer periods. Done.
अच्छा हमने एक तकाजा लिया है ये 10 days
Very fast.
मस्तूरात की जमात माशाल्लाह youngsters 10 days mashallah there is a mashallah 3 jamats is there 1 jamat for 5 days 1 masturat jamat from 22nd of December Friday night so उसमें किसका इरादा है माशाल्लाह 1 जमात माशाल्लाह खड़े हो जाओ हाफिज साहब भी है माशाल्लाह myself 3 brothers और 2-3 साथी और भी है माशाल्लाह मस्तूरात की जमात जाएगी 10 दिन माशाल्लाह अल्लाह कबूल फरमाए डॉक्टर साहब है 4 साथी है और कौन है 2 साथी आसिफ भाई खड़े हो जाओ माशाल्लाह खड़े हो जाओ वो वहां चले जाए उनके साथ चले जाए उनके पास माशाल्लाह अल्लाह कबूल फरमाए तो ये मस्तूरात की भी 5 कपल की जमात तैयार हो गई माशाल्लाह अल्लाह
Come, brothers, all the other brothers, make it
जमात
Lancaster wala. The look on be my kayu par. Make it 3 days. Come, brothers. Fill the gaps, please, brothers. Chalo, before we finish, last few points. Brothers, fill the gaps, please, brothers. You brothers who are sitting here who have not made intentions, keep asking from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's only Allah ta'ala who will take us, and it's only Allah ta'ala who will utilize us for His deen. The ulama kiram, they make dua, Allahumma sta'amilna bidinik, wa la tastabdilna. Oh Allah, utilize us for your deen. Don't swap us for someone else. Next man gets utilized, and I just chase after the paltry gain of the dunya. That's my loss. So everyone make intention, inshallah. Even between now and the 22nd, when the Jamaat will be going, if we keep making dua sincerely, Allah will put it in our hearts, then we can go with the Jamaat. And those brothers who have already made intention, our elders, they say, make intention at every opportunity. Even if people laugh at us, it doesn't matter. We're doing it for Allah. Yes? Last year, in the Christmas period, we were for 10 days. So on the last day, I sat the youngsters down and I said, right, for 9 days you've been listening to all these talks and everything. Now making time. Do you understand the effort? Do you understand the importance of why we have to spend 4 months? All of them said yes. I said, now all of you make intention for 4 months. They said, inshallah. I said, no, I'm not like that. I said, tell me when you're going to go. So there were 2 youngsters in that Jamat who are now in their early 20s. So I said to them, I said, do you remember? I remember we were together in Jamat 2013. You were a 15-year-old lad. He said, yeah. I said, do you remember at that time I made you make intention for 4 months? He said, yes. And I said, I told you to predict a year. Project a year for yourself. Realistic target. You can't just say, inshallah, I'm ready for 4 months from tomorrow. Your mom says, no, you're not. Yeah? Your wife says, no, you're not. I said, I made you make. He said, yeah. I said, what year did you say then? He said, I calculated my college, university, and I said, 2019, I'll go for 4 months. Right? And I said, after that, did you stand up in every bayan and say 4 months in 2019? He said, yes, I did. I said, I remember you did. So from 2013, he was standing up in every bayan, inshallah, 4 months. When from, brother, 2019, people would laugh, but he kept on doing it. I said, mashallah, now, brother, you spent 4 months, haven't you? He said, yes. I said, when did you go? He said, 2019. There was another brother, same thing, he was in that Jamat. In 2013, he made intention for 2020. I said, when did you go then? 4 months. He said, 2020. You understand? Because our elders say, jisko likhate dekha hai, usko lagate dekha hai. Whoever we have seen giving their intentions again and again, we have seen them eventually going out with the tawfiq of Allah as well. So all of you brothers who have made intentions, keep giving intentions again and again, every week, every Saturday, every Sunday when we have guys, give your intentions. If people laugh, so be it. We're doing it for Allah. But if we're sincere with our intentions, I met a brother from Indonesia. He'd come for 4 months after 9 years. 9 years he'd been sewing clothes morning and evening, rubbing pennies together, trying to save up enough. But eventually, after 9 years, Allah Ta'ala took him. He was a very poor person, but he came out for 4 months. And there's millions of examples like that. So Alhamdulillah, brothers, Allah Ta'ala accept our coming together. Along with going out, when we do go out in the path of Allah, there's also a need for us to be making this effort every day. Alhamdulillah, you brothers are very lucky. We have a markaz here in Blackburn, not too far from here. You brothers can even walk it. It's good for your health on Thursday night. Yeah, on Thursday night they have a gathering. Yeah, so go to that gathering. Yeah, take other people with you, right? And go for the sake of Allah, not for the sake of the pizzas and for the party. Just go for the bayan, stay the night, and then come back in the morning, go to work in the morning, right? Allah Ta'ala grant me all of us the tawfiq. And along with that, inshallah, every day, collect in our masjids, make mashwara, go meet people, encourage people, conduct the talim in the masjid, sit in the ahadith, the recitation every day, and conduct the talim in our homes as well, so our mothers and sisters can also benefit. Anything we heard in this bayan which stuck with us, don't go home and say to your mom, stomp up the stairs when she asks you where did you go. And, yeah, go to your mom, go to your sister. Yeah, if you're married, go to your wife. Sit them down, talk to them. Repeat to them what you heard in the masjid. That way, their iman also gets made, and they also go out in the path of Allah. Allah grant me and all of us the tawfiq. Any brothers that I offended, please forgive me. That was not the purpose. Inshallah, make dua for us as well. Allah Ta'ala accept everyone. ठीक है, Dr. Sahib? Subhanallah wa bihamdih.